A project is the result of an idea, a need, or predictable change. By definition, it is a unique effort that takes place under conditions of uncertainty and is subject to constraints that amplify the challenges it faces to meet its objectives successfully. All projects, both large and small, require a set of clearly defined objectives and targets, as well as a plan for their achievement. Determining the project objectives and laying out the course for achieving them are handled in two distinct stages. First, the objectives are set out in general in the initial planning stages of the project. Then, each objective is laid out in further detail in the secondary planning stage, which focuses on the practical and specific details of the project. We will learn how to generate a project compass, which will help answer questions central to the project's planning and approval processes, such as, why should this project be undertaken? Or, who is the target audience? What does this project entail? And how should we execute the project? Answers to these questions are needed to ensure that we do not make decisions at this stage of the project that will be regretted later. The preliminary planning stage involves creating the project compass, without which it will be possible to move forward in any direction, but not necessarily in the direction necessary to achieve the objectives that have been defined. At this stage, it is also necessary to establish the preliminary budget of the project, which will then be approved by the client and other stakeholders. Ship captains and explorers have been working on predicting or perfecting navigational methods for millennia. Even though a mistake in navigation ultimately led to the discovery of one of the largest and most developed countries in the modern world, many explorers will simply lost due to lack of direction. Lewis Carroll illustrated this principle beautifully in his book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, in the famous conversation between Alice and the Cheshire Cat. "Cheshire Puss," she began, rather timidly, "would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?" "That depends a good deal on where you want to go," said the cat. "I don't much care where," said Alice. "Then it doesn't matter which way you go," said the cat. "So long as I get somewhere," Alice added as an explanation. "Oh, you're sure to do that," said the cat, "if you only walk long enough." This dialogue represents one of the most common phenomena in project management. Success, to some extent, of the product or service developed within the framework of the project, but failure of the project itself. In other words, we have gotten somewhere with our project, but did we get where we wanted to go? And if so, at what cost? Like any journey, a project begins with the first step, one that attempts to learn the need for and profitability of the proposed project. Without need and profitability, there is no justification for the project. Without these, we would be better off investing our resources elsewhere. So let's begin.